It's going to be a short tutorial video for you to add yourself in as an editor on the website and how to do a few basic things like editing content, the text, pictures, things like that. So in a little while I'm going to send you an email, and in the email there's going to be a link. You'll just click on the link. I'm going to add it here in the URL. When you click on the link, it will bring you actually to the website page right here. Now down at the bottom you'll have this right here. It'll already have your email address in here. Create an account, so you just type in your name and password, whatever password you choose, and that's what you'll use to log in to the editor. So once you log in, you'll be on the site just like this. You'll notice this menu down at the bottom this will be in order to log out. This is the help and support. If you have some basic questions, you can click on that and look through the questions, see if you can find answers. Settings for the website, for your account, your editor account, where you could put your image, your first and last name, password if you want to change your password. And then you have these forms, collections, pages. So we won't worry about those things right at this moment, but what you'll do is the website is active, so any of the links at the top, any links anywhere on the website, you can click on those links and it'll take you wherever you want to go. So if you wanted to go to the About page, you could still click on that and it would take you to that page. Also, anytime you mouse over an item, whether it's text or a graphic or a picture, if it's something that you can edit, it'll have a little button that'll pop up. Depending on what it is, the button may look a little bit differently. So like this is just a small PNG. So if you wanted to edit that, you could click on that. And then it would allow you to actually change that picture. So you could choose a different photo on your computer and change that out, or a different PNG or whatever. Just think about, be careful, if you change something, there's not a quick undo. So sometimes in order to go back to the way things were, we may have to restore an older version of the site, or we may have to actually go back in and redo the things that we previously had. So just whenever you're changing pictures or text or content, just make sure it is what you want to do before you do it. As far as text, the same thing. You can mouse over it, and most of the text that you're able to change, you can click on this little button to edit it, and then you'll have a cursor that you can move about and change things, or you can actually just click within the text and edit it just like that. So you can edit, change it, Now most of the things you won't be able to change the design. So you won't be able to change the font. You won't be able to change the size of the font, or even if it's bold or italic. There are a few things here and there where you might be able to do that, but most of the time you won't have the ability to change the design. And that's intentionally that way in order to protect the integrity of the design consistently throughout the entire website, so that you just change the content. If you want to change the design or the look of the site, then that's when you would, kind of tell us what you're wanting to do, why you're wanting to do it, and then we would help do that for you. Anytime there's a link, like this is actually a link to go down. When you click on this, it moves you down to Vision. So anytime there's a link, you can actually click on that link and you can change what it does, where it goes to. In this case, these are different sections of the page that you could make it scroll down to a different section, but we're going to leave it set the way we have it right there. If you wanted to change out the photo down here, you would just click on the photo and it automatically brings up a dialog box from your computer where you can choose a picture from your computer and change out that photo. But again, like I said, make sure that that is what you want to do. Once you make that change, it's going to there's not a quick and easy undo, so we'd have to actually go back and redo the photo the way it was before, or whatever the change was. And then whenever you change something, like I think earlier I changed this About Us, and I changed it back, but the editor thinks that a change was made, so it shows down here one unpublished change, and that's all that is. Now there's not really a change because I changed it back, but that's what it was. Then in here, you can, like I said, just click on text. You can change any of the text that you want anywhere within the site. Sometimes these big images up at the top, they're called hero images. Sometimes they're very difficult to change in the editor. If you notice way up here at the very top corner, when I mouse over the photo, there is that little icon way up in the top corner. Well, it disappears. It's very difficult to change within the editor. So these hero images, these big images at the very top of the screen that take up the whole screen, if you want to change those, usually that's something we would have to do, just because that little bug won't let you get in there and change it. But that's not a big deal. We're always happy to do that. Also, a few other things like the calendar. Let's go over here to the calendar. These are set up as what we call a collection. And so the collection is not like a blog, but kind of like a blog, where you make new entries and it will automatically populate this list here. So you would just go to collections, and then here's calendars, and you'll notice here's all the things that you had that were in there. So if we close this back out, babysitter collaborative, foster parent training, CPR and first aid, babysitter collaborative. So it has all those things. We've formatted these to show the stuff that you enter in. So what you do to add a new event, you would come down here to collections, click on calendars, and then you can edit one that's already in there, or you can create a new one. So a new calendar. And then what it does is it brings up this little dialog. So you would put in the name of the event. So let's say we're going to make an event called a new foster family barbecue. Okay, and we're going to set it for January 13th, and the end date is January 13th. And then we could, write some stuff about the event, like a fun family barbecue for new foster families and their kids. Now you could write whatever you wanted, and then you can also include if you had a link to it, like maybe a Facebook page or something like that you wanted to add a link to. Or an address or whatever, and then we're going to click create, and it's now it says staged for publishing because it hasn't been published yet. So if we go back to the site, here it is. It hasn't changed anything. Even if we refresh it and go back to calendar, it's still not there, right? So what we're going to do is we're just going to click right down here because we're still in the editor. If we click publish. Oh yeah, and here's the things that it shows us, the unpublished changes. Edited text about us, I changed that back. One of our most extreme, I changed that back. And then the calendar. So we're going to click publish 3 changes. Okay, so it published those. Now we're going to refresh and let's see if it shows up. There it is, new foster family barbecue. I think it actually showed up a second ago before I clicked refresh. It would have the date here, the time. Actually, I didn't see on the collection where I could enter in the time. Let's see. So if you want to edit it, oh yeah, right here, the time. I didn't even realize that we had the time in here as well. So time is right here, date. You would choose a date and then the time. So we're going to say it starts at 4:30. And then we're going to say it ends at 7. And now we'll click save. And now it has another unpublished change. So we're going to publish it, publish. And now it says published right there. So let's see if it changed it. There it is, 4:30 to 7, Sunday, January 13th, 2019, new foster family barbecue. So in here you would put things like, where is it going to be? What is it about? Who's invited or whatever, things like that. And you could even add a link and stuff. And if you want to just quickly edit these things, you can come in here and click on them and edit them right in here as well. Right there, just like that. Once you edit it, you will have to click publish again to make sure that it gets published. So now I don't want to keep that on there. I realize, you know what? No, we're not going to do that event. We've decided that we're not going to do that. So I'm going to come back in here to calendars. I've got this. I'm going to click on it. And then just right down here at the bottom, I'm going to delete it. You can archive it if you want to, that will just remove it from the list, but kind of keep it as an archive in case you want to go back and use it later or do something else with it. You can duplicate it if it's something that you want to copy all the content. You just want to change the date. It's an event that you do on a regular basis, and you just want to duplicate it with the same information, except you just want to change the date to a new one. Or in this case, we're just going to delete it. There's no way to restore a deleted item. That's okay. Delete, and then publish. Publish. And there you go. So that's going to be most of the stuff that you're going to want to do within the website. If you have questions about anything specifically, you can always, ask me about it, email me, text me, or whatever. But that's going to be most of what you want to do. In order to, there are a few things in the website that may not work correctly. Like if we have pictures that scroll through on this header, when you're in the editor like this, these won't scroll. You won't see them change. So sometimes you'll have to actually log out and then look at the website when you're logged out, and that'll show you. That'll allow you to see some of these photos, because in the editor it won't do that. The other thing is, anytime you want to come back to log in. Right now we've got the website just on a temporary staging domain. It's this right here, divinity-family-services.webflow.io. Right now that's going to be the URL that we're using. When we get ready to publish it, it will be your regular domain. But right now what you'll do is you'll add in, to go back to the editor, you're going to do /edit. And that will bring you back to the editor where you could type in your email address, your password, and then just log in. I think that's it for now. Like I said, if you have any questions, text me or give me a call or an email, and I'll be happy to answer those questions and walk you through it. All right, I hope this helps, and we're getting excited about publishing it for you guys.